5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera. My name is Sbe Terusdan, metric number 282425. Today I would like to present with my partner Sahida about our pair assignment. We decide to choose the topic about the most popular food in our state. Sahida, can you introduce yourself?
Okay, thank you Aisyah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. My name is Suhaida binti Cik Omar, matrix number 282565. I will present about street food in Kelantan. It's called Putu Halva.
First of all, I choose kacang pul for the most popular food in Johor. Do you know that kacang pul is a specialty dish available in Johor? Just mention about kacang pul, indeed many will associate the food with the state of Johor. But do you know that actually kacang pul are not the original food in Johor? The word pul does not mean pool. We even start thinking about why the food has a pool in it. This is because it's come from Arabic word ful, which means broad bean. The history of Egypt began about 6,000 until 8,000 years ago on the shore of the Al-Fayoum Oasis Lake. Among the factors why this civilization developed is because it is located on the Nile River. It was on the cliff of the Nile that agriculture flourished, and this river was very important in the life of the Egyptian. 90% of Egypt's population live on the cliff of this river. The cultivation of broad beans or food beans began on the cliff of the river since 1919 before Masehi. Broad bean, or its scientific name is Vicia faba, is planted while waiting for wheat to ripen, as well as preventing soil erosion. The discovery of the early recipe for full measurements is around the 4th Masehi. Although many historians say the recipe existed even early, the way to cook is to boil the broad beans until soft, then stir-fry with spices and meat. Among the meats, they are often used a bastuma, which is a preserved meat with a salted with spices such as cumin before adding broad beans that have been boiled and mashed before being eaten with bread. The dish was very popular as a breakfast food in Egypt, and it began to spread especially around the Palestine, Syria, and Turkey. How kacang pul get in Johor? At that time, Sultan Abu Bakar, the Sultan of Johor, was fond of Europe and brought a lot of food from the west to the state. One of them is spaghetti, which is now used for laksa Johor. The ship that His Royal Highness Sultan was on stopped at Port Said, the main port of the Suez Canal, which at that time had just been opened by the British. The Suez Canal brought closer the journey from Europe to the east without having to go around the African continent complete in 1869. Sultan Johor died in Port Said and loved the full measurements. So this recipe was brought to Johor along with other Western and Middle East food recipe. Today, kacang pul are enjoyed all over Malaysia, but they are more popular in Johor, especially in Laken at Kacang Pul Haji. So that the history of the origin of pul beans, which is now a popular dish, but there are also some other theories regarding this kacang pul dish, which is said to originate from the Arab dish in Mecca. Suhaida, can you explain about your putu halva popular in Kelantan?
Do you know about putu halba? I don't think you have tried the cake yet. So today, I will describe more detail about putu halba. Putu halba is a sort of cake that comes from Kelantan and is prepared from cassava or cassava flour, which is typically only available from November to February each year during the rainy season. Round is shaped, but putu halba is sprinkled with palm sugar, also known as niseh by the Kelantanese, and is typically eaten with grated young coconut. During to the fact that it must be steamed in cloves throughout the cooking process. It is known as kueh include. The putu halba recipe has been modified from utilizing rice flour to a mixture of grated cassava, palm sugar, and a small amount of fenugreek. Fenugreek, which is utilized in this cake, was originally used to warm the body during the monsoon season in addition to its aroma. It is only marketed during the monsoon season because the garden area would flood during the monsoon season and do damage to the cassava. How about your experience eating kacang pul, Aisyah?
I think kacang pul is one of a kind unique food that I ever taste in my life. The first time when I heard the name of the food, I think this food is a kind of a product of nuts. But when I looked the real one, I was surprised that kacang pul did not look like the food that I imagined. From a shape of the product, it turned out to be a bread with some kind of sauce to dip the bread into it. The kacang pul set comprised a bowl of gravy, a sunshine egg, and a very thick white bread toast. The heavy gravy is made mainly with ground broad beans and minced beef blend with curry spices and fresh onion, garlic, chilies, and eggs. Kacang pul is eaten by breaking the bread and dipping in the gravy. The thick margarine toast coated with the spicy nutty gravy make a delicious snack. The gravy is thick and grainy but not coarse. It has a unique mildly spicy, full body flavor and nutty taste and texture with a subtle beefy aroma. For a complete description, the food was tasty, unique, awesome, and definitely delicious for me. It's definitely one of my favorite tea time snack. Perfect tea time with friend. Okay, that's all experience I want to share. How about you, Suhaida?
When I first tried to putu halba, I saw my family's member severing over something in the kitchen. I was curious. I took a bite, hoping that its taste will not be terribly awful. I put it in my mouth. After a few bites, I stopped. Oh my god, that swarming sensation, that sweet taste, that rich flavor. They were irresistible. Putu Halber impressed me that couldn't even more a marshal. I finally said how I could not taste this before. It's heaven. Aisha, you should try when you went to Kelantan. I'm sure you also love this cake so much. Now I will tell you how to make putu halba. First step is cassava must be grated. The water squeezed out and the grated cassava dry. After that, the putu halba is cooked, steamed by first covering half of the putu mold with grated putu halba, followed by palm sugar and more grated cassava until the putu mold is completely covered. After that, the putu halba mold will be covered with a thin net cloth set on a steamer, and the top will be turned down after the putu halba bottom has finished cooking. Once the bottom portion is cooked, the putu halba cake is taken from the net closed and wrapped in grated young coconut that has been combined with a little sugar and salt to enhance the flavor and coconut fat. When you open the putu halba package, it will be fragrance because it has been wrapped in a layer of banana leaf for add aroma. Now it's ready to eat. I think that's all from us about most popular food in Johor and Kelantan. We should you all will try the food and enjoy our pair video presentation. Bye bye. Assalamualaikum.